on a bit. You can't just hit me with that. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Dragon Warrior Wednesday. We have Dragon Warrior 2 with us here. It's me. Thank you, Crazy Paw and Top Boss, for the subs. Let's jump on in. We have a special quest today. So, we're back in Middenhall here. Not just to talk to the king. But, so previously, the Prince of Canna got sick with Hargon's curse. We had to go find the leaf of the world tree to cure it. We did. We then started traveling the world in our cool boat. We have a cool boat. And we found on our journeys a very important item. Oh, we also found another very important item, damn. But yeah, so we found the gold key, which means we have a tour. We have to go on a little bit of a world tour here. To every single town and village we've been to in the entire game. Shit, where's my boat? A grand tour, one might call it. That's right, Goku, Trunks, and Pan are going to go on a... But yeah, so... No, but seriously, where did I park my boat? Wait. Did I park my boat here? Okay, I parked my boat here. That's fine. Boat can stay parked here for now. But yeah, so we have some doors to open, and you might remember some very, very important gold doors. We're gonna go in order, and I'm just gonna we're just gonna do this. So, we have every town we want to visit. Yeah, go for it. Go for it, Top Boss. Alright, what do we got here? Excellent. That's very cool. I'll have to show you my new friend at some point. I got a very small metal slime. It is not a metal slime, but it is a slime that is metallic. That's a very cool friend, though. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, any gold doors in town here? It does not look like it. We have a silver door. Kids running a racket. But yeah, very cool friend. Okay, so let's go up to Cannock. Sure, let's see if we can find a slime on the way up. Come on, slime. Damn. Here we're gonna get to see how much more powerful we are. Even Maria's hitting for like lethal damage. Slyo 2 hits for 16. There ain't gold doors up here. I think there were 2 in town. So let's check. Okay, we cannot open jail. We do not have jail doors. However... So you have come. You people are descendants of Erdrick. Now, open the treasure chest. Take the item. Oh, thank you. A wizard has been waiting for me to open this chest. Okay. Yeah, so that's actually really funny. Again, all three of the main kingdoms are descended from the hero of Dragon Warrior 1, who is descended from Erdrick. So, for them to have his equipment makes sense. We got the token from Middenhall. Why wouldn't the shield be here in Cannock? Well, yeah, it's an heirloom, right? This is an heirloom shield from Great-Grandpa. So it would make sense that it's here. Why would it be in a cave, you know? Here it's stored safe with the wizard. So, I think that's really cool. It's like, what the hell is it doing here? But at the same time, why wouldn't it? Why would it be anywhere else, you know? Alright, let's see who can use this. Unable. Okay. So we're gonna have to take... So yeah, this was in Middenhall, this is in Cannock. Maybe we can go check over in Moonbrook. Wait, we never found Erdrick's shield in Dragon Warrior? Wait a minute, you're right, we bought a shield from Mercado. Did they just end up calling it, like, that's right, Erdrick's sword and armor, and that shield you bought, that we now dub Erdrick's shield. We never found the helm either, but that's because we didn't have a helmet. Now that's a 20 defense up, damn. How do I feel about Dragon's Bane? Well, it wasn't even worn by Erdrick, because the hero of Dragon Warrior 1 isn't Erdrick, it's the descendant of Erdrick. Yeah, we'll put Dragon. I think this should go on. Hold on. This should go on. Oh, it was here the whole time. No wonder we couldn't find it. Alright, can you use the Dragon's Bane? Wizard Wand, Clothes of Hiding, Shield, Shield. Okay. So can we... I don't think we can... We can just use it to equip it, unequip it. Okay. Anyway. Right, this is not it. We're fine here. What? Well... we made our way into the king's bedroom. Okay, this was well worth the side trip, though. Is that how canopy beds work, just two lengthwise? I think that might be a mistake. Alright, well, we got a lot to sell. We're gonna go ahead and sell... Oh wait, can I move Steel Shield? I might be able to move Steel Shield. At the very least, you want to sell a medical herb? Alright, let's see if the steel shield can be moved. Unable. Okay, so it's just a sell at this point. Glad we can check that. Sure. Kings are double wide, princes are double long. That makes sense. I understand this. Okay, so that's Cannot. Now we have to head south towards Moonbrook. Which we know is like through this little channel. And enemies here are not really worth anything, but they're also free, so... Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. We get access to the warp system. Alright, we have the key, so we can now check out the full warp. Okay. So from Wizard Warp, which Wizard Warp, by the way, is located on the north of the Southwest Island. So this is the Warp Shrine. Let's go this one. And see if we can make this world tour a little simpler. So where are we now? What? Who are you? Oh, this puts us... the middle of the map. Alright. I guess this is the quickest way to Middenhall. Or not to Middenhall, to Moonbrook. We'll consider taking that afterwards here. Let's check the rest of the teleports. Okay, so this goes to the middle here. Now, where are we here? What? Where? Goodbye? The wizard's just gone. Where the hell are we? What the hell? Oh, sorry. My brain was on key. Wait. Oh, we're over by Boat Town. There's just a shrine up here by Boat Town we didn't see because I didn't go north. Alright. Interesting. Okay, so this is like a fast travel around the world that doesn't use our boat. And like, that would have been like the wizard opening the door if we had come in the shrine the other way. Okay, while we're here, let's check Boat Town. Sound notable. I'm literally on the doorstep. Alright. That's fine. Okay, was there anything here that was key? Okay, it does not look like there's anything in this town that was on the gold key. However, I should probably grab my boat here and head over to Elfgard, because we know in Tantagel there was. Yeah, this is the Super Nintendo version with a translation patch of Dragon Warrior 2. We were doing the Game Boy Color version, but I decided the Super Nintendo version looked a little better and had like a yes, the NES. Yeah, I showed off the NES version as well. I never played Dragon Warrior on NES or Dragon Warrior 2 on NES. I played 1, and then I played Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 on the Game Boy, 1, 2, and 3 on the Game Boy Color. And so we're kind of going through and checking out these. Anyway, we need to head over to oh, where's our slime? Come on, there's supposed to be a slime in these fights. Whatever. There's always like a, you know, the one slime that appears when you're on Elfgard fights. Whatever. I never beat Dragon Warrior 1 on NES, I just played it. Dragon Warrior 2 on NES was most grindy for fights. Is it still that way? I don't think so here. From what I remember, we still have some of the endgame problems, but we don't have... But we have kind of comparable amounts to, like, Dragon Warrior 1. Anyway, so we have the gold key, and if you remember, if I go up here... King's MIA. King's just gone. King's just... Rip King. But, now that we have gold key... First things first, this should be the Repel shop. This was the Repel shop in 1. Now it's the sewing shop. Huh. Okay. So, we actually were told about the Dew's yarn when we were in, when we were in the town where the prince fell ill. So, this is our hint on where to find the Dew's yarn. It always lands on the 3rd floor of the North Tower of the Dragon's Horn, which we visited before when it was the North and South Towers. Fun fact, I was there the entire time. Yeah. But that's not our only thing that the gold key in town opens. Hey, bud. So you've come to such a place. I'm just living in retirement here in the weapon shop. You know. Oh. Well, we found the king. Yeah, it's kind of funny. As mentioned, we have the town here, which is very similar to the town from Dragon Warrior 1. The Repel shop up here, the inn down there, and then it just sort of bleeds into the castle. So... Oh, actually, that reminds me, does... the flute... If you can get this flute to do anything... Well... Alright. So, where else can we go with the gold key? Let's see, we still have the town. Let's actually go back to the west. One slime. Damn it. Okay. Oh? Sure, that's like free. We also can go over to the tower and pick up the Dew's yarn. So that's another idea for something we can go do. Alright. We don't care about the town. We're here for the, teleport shrine in the back. Alright, come on, levels. 5 speed, 2 vitality, 1 strength. Strength doesn't hurt, but it's not huge here. Okay, 3 and 4. That's good. Alright, so the shrine is up here. 1 zombie. Yeah, what's our spell list right now? We've got Repel, Antidote, Surround. Okay, we have Defense, no increase yet. We got Sleep. I like Defense, though. Alright, anyway, back to our teleport shrine. And this is important. Because this one is the one we want? Yeah, so here we are. We're actually at the shrine. This is the shrine where you got the, you combined the rain and sun in one. We're south of Rimeldar. Let me give you the Helmet of Erdrick. What? So we're getting some huge upgrades. Not only do we actually have, I think 3 different Erdrick armor pieces? Or, not armor pieces, but we have the shield, the sword, and the helmet. Okay, and the helm is, again, only for Slyo 2, so... Anyway, equip, Slyo 2, Dragon Killer, Clothes of Hiding, Shield of Erdrick. The helm is worth 14 defense, that's pretty damn good. Combined with the shield, that's 36 defense, which is like 18 damage reduction, effectively. Always nice when you don't have to, yeah, like, we have to go in the world and grab it, but we've got the token earlier, so. Alright, I think that completes our roundabout with the, with what we were using here. So, let's use one of our wings. That should reset where the boat is. It's still no 4th character. And we're just 3 in 2. We don't get up to a 4th party member until later games. So we got our boat in the right place. Hold on, let me take a look at the world map. Where do we want to go? Okay, so we want to go west of here so that we can go to the towers, the dragon towers, but also that town that we spent a lot of time up at. Draco Lord's grandson should have been number 4. That would have been so cool, right? Like, you meet the Draco Lord, and the Draco Lord, you know, says, yo, Hargon sucks, actually. Let me join you. Hell yeah. Right? Like, that would have been rad. And then, of course, like, at the end of the game after you beat Hargon, you have to 3-on-1 the Draco Lord. But, you know, that's fine. You know everything he's got. Alright, so heading west. Okay, we can Infernos these. So we're gonna have to do some. We have okay. We have a lot of. So here you can see the reason I ended up picking the Super Nintendo version over the NES was these like really nice battle backgrounds. It was specifically that. The translation is a fan translation on this version, so it's not perfect, but it's fine. It does exactly what it needs to. All right, let's get down this river. Let's get down this river. Okay. One zombie. So there's a town here. Game Boy, I mean, the Game Boy tries when it comes to music. You know how it is. Like, that was just a thing with the Game Boy. Any games that have good soundtracks are in spite of the hardware. Alright, so here we are. What's this town? One of you is supposed to just be the welcome to X. Hamlin. So, we're in Hamlin here because this was here. Well, we found Gremlin House. Anyway. Oh, Ham, I want to talk to you. I hear there is a monolith of a spirit somewhere in the vast ocean. If you have obtained the 5 crests, you'll be able to call forth the spirit there. Though no one knows where that place is, or if the legend is true for that matter. Oh, keep trying the flute. Okay, we'll keep trying the flute. No, okay. Okay, do gremlins like flute? Let's learn. Oh! This screen is important. We still haven't established what the flute does, have we? We got it from treasures, and nobody told us what the flute does, just, it's a flute. We'll solve what the flute does, when we find out why this screen is important. We can't open the jail, so we can't find out yet. Anyway, we also have a location for what we have to do once we find the 5 crests. There's a monolith in the ocean that will give us the final item we need for the crests. The item of spirit. Anyway, let's go ahead and save here while we're here. And then we'll head for Middenbrook. Or no, I say Middenbrook. Moonbrook, not Middenhall. I don't know if there's anything in Moonbrook, but I might as well check while we're here. Hey, bud. No, the soldier feeling tormented for having abandoned the castle. Alright, let's, I think I got a fairy water, we can use that for now. So let's walk down to Moonbrook, it's actually a pretty short walk. Right down here. I still don't have stepping. That's okay. I don't know if there's anything we're going to be able to get here, but we might as well check because we're doing... Oh, am I not high enough level to be able to rappel in this place? Well, that's a pain. I'm high enough level to beat everything. At least that's fine. I'll try casting that one more time. Don't have that P to keep drawing it. Very few people knew how to do a good jam on the Genesis. The Genesis has some incredible stuff. Nothing happened. Okay. So, jail key. Underground. Heliphites. Yeah, like part of the notable bits about the Game Boy Advance was that the Game Boy Advance didn't have a dedicated, like anything dedicated for sound. So you had to give up something in order to be able to do anything, like, on that system. And so a lot of games didn't. It is a... Okay. It is a, rare occurrence to have a Game Boy Advance game with, like, a soundtrack that's a standout. Which means when it does hit, it's very good. you end up with something, you know, things like Mother 3's soundtrack. I'm a Golden Sun liker. And even non-Golden Sun likers can likely say, you know, soundtrack does some strong stuff. Aria's another one. Okay, nothing here. That's fine. Pokemon titles, those are good examples. Yeah. Oh god, we're going to be starting Battle Network 3 next week, I think. And then Sundays are actually gonna. Maybe we won't. Maybe it'll be a bad idea to start it when it goes into like it would literally go into Christmas, New Year's, Magfest. So that's a 3-week off. Anyway, we're going into Battle Network 3, and Battle Network 3's soundtrack whips. That's me and V for a Sunday stream. But like that's a game that soundtrack also just continues like to get wild as the games go on. I believe we're going to be going blue on it. Specifically, there's 2 reasons for blue instead of white on Battle Network 3. Number 1 is the Giga Chip you have access to is much stronger. Number 2 is there's a boss that's only in blue. there's an exclusive in both blue and white, but there's a second one that's exclusive in blue. Okay, so we can go ahead and heal up, and now we have to go find the we're going to go to the tower to go grab the yarn. This is the one with the dog. This is the town with the dog in the mirror. Yes, this is where the princess would normally be. Is right around here, following you. But we have a treasure to go find. We have a lot of treasures to go find. So, the reason, you know, once we got that key, all of a sudden the world is open. I'm sorry, does Maria have more health than Cain? I guess I've been giving Maria every HP seed, or the life acorns, right? Yeah, I've been giving Maria all the life acorns, and now it's starting to come to roost. Alright, so we're gonna take this. Infernos these baboons. Minish Cap. Minish Cap was a game I gave the life acorns to the hero. I mean, life acorns to the hero, like, I don't think there's a wrong choice other than, like, trying to give MP to the hero, you know? Because, you know, they take the brunt of the hits. So, them having more health is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a balance question. I did play the Oracle games. I never played Minish Cap though. I own Minish Cap on so on the 3DS. If you bought the 3DS on launch, yeah, was it the 3DS? Yeah, it's a 3DS. If you bought the 3DS on launch, you got like a, I think they called it the Ambassadors Pack, which was basically an apology for the launch of the 3DS. Because the launch of the 3DS was, well, anyway, Yeah, so the if you had the Ambassador pack, you got 10 Game Boy Advance games. It was like, and these aren't like junk ones. It's like Metroid Fusion, Fire Emblem, Sacred Swords. I don't actually remember if it's Sacred Swords or if it's the game named Fire Emblem. But Minish Cap was also in that, if memory serves. So that's how I own it. Was Sacred Stones. Okay. Is that where I need to go? But yeah, I think that pack also had, it had a lot of, WarioWare. It was, like, really damn, like, good. Alright, does bell work outside? Okay. Yep, bridges are generally in general, most bridges, and even this gets called out in-game, a number of characters in the game will tell you, like, be careful. Oh, this is the wrong tower. Spell return. That's fine. We can take the boat to the other tower. So the tower we want is actually over here to the west. If I pull up the... Because we're supposed to go to the 2 towers, not the 1 tower. So if I go ahead and check this out, there's the, if you look to the west and up a little bit to the north on that peninsula, there's that river that kind of cuts it off. That's where the towers we had to use the cape to get across are. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Luckily, not too much of a loss because we, know where we're going and we have the ability to sail without being attacked by a bunch of Man-O-Wars. 2 mana. Very nice to have access to. But yeah, Minish Cap is a game that definitely at some point I need to, like, play through. The Oracle games are great. Those are Game Boy Color games that are just, like, real fun. I always wished that Oracle of Secrets was real, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is the tower we want, and we were told on the north tower on the 3rd floor. So this is floor 1, floor 2. Alright, so wind blows it somewhere on here. Alright, let's go around the side. Yeah. Quick. Healers? Oh, wow. It's been a while since we've seen actual healers. Also, I have to... Is this floor 3 or floor 2 is going to be the question, you know? Because, in my mind, the ground floor is floor 1. But that's not always true in counting. Sometimes the ground floor is floor 0 on the count. If so, that would make this floor 2. I did not play Final Fantasies early. The first Final Fantasy I actually played was 9. Which is kind of funny, because 9 is a game full of references to older Final Fantasies. Okay, we might have to go one more floor up because of, yeah, ground floor versus... And, well, the other thing, too, is this is a fan translation. Oh! Hey! Okay. Got it. So here's the doozy yarn. This is half of what we need to make the water flying cloth. Which, we haven't been told what that is, but it is, I think the spot's random on the floor. It says the wind blows it, so... Alright, next up, we should head southwest again. Back to the town where, Cannock, the Prince of Cannock came, where Cain fell ill. And we were introduced to Slyo Twain. Should be easier to just head north and go up and around in a loop. Different spot for me. I mean, that makes sense. Again, the NPC did say the wind blows it, which in my mind is a way of being able to say it's random on the floor, right? Where the hell am I? Old map, where am I? What? Smoke! The boat's on fire. Alright. Smoke or group defeated. On the water? Fire in the sky? The dude from Deep Purple sang this? Okay, here we go. We found islands. Alright, so this is the one coastline that's open on this continent. Repel's not gonna do anything on this continent anyway. 6 Goopy. Okay, do you take Infernos damage? Damn, they hit hard too. Oh no! Alright. Well. Look at the ordering. By the way, the ordering goes off of, like the one summoned first and then the rest in it. So it gets kind of weird on groups. Alright. Anyway, that's actually pretty good. It's gonna be a reasonable experience in health, or gold. Let's go ahead and check in town now. Alright, so we're here to check for gold key doors. Alright, we have we have our jail. We don't have jail key. Baron, yeah. Baron also has some good, Oh, I can put away some stuff. Let's go deposit... I think the token of, Airdrick is now worthless? I can deposit that. Oh, we have to go to Osterfair. We were told that the king of Osterfair had a crest. Okay, so Shield of Strength is big because this is an upgrade for Kane. And upgrades for Kane's armor are hard to find. Not impossible, but hard. Now we can go and sell this iron helmet. Get some good gold off that. Alright, back up to 5. G123, 122. Yep, we know about that. Oh, right, this is the... Yeah, so the Magic Loom and the Dew's Yarn. Oh, this is a jail key. Okay. Damn. Yeah, the Moon Crest, up the King of Osterfair. So, we know that Osterfair is a... Please. Osterfair is a place we want to go, and we're told here, or no, Southern Sea, far to the south of Middenhall. So we have a direction. The big thing is, if we take a look at our world map, you can kind of tell where we may want to go. King is in the towns. I said, when we take a look at our world map, you can see where we want to go. It's really... I love having a map, by the way. I think that's really cool. So, there's a couple areas in the Eastern Sea we kind of want to go check out. You can see there's an island that's like kind of a straight shot south from... Middenhall. There's the Crescent Island where our boat's gonna sink. There's a small, like, T-block a little bit to the left and south of Crescent Island. And then there's some stuff over to the south in the little archipelago that we went and visited earlier. That's where we got the key on that southern and eastmost island. But there was also a shrine there. Now might be a good time to go check out that shrine. We were also told, we currently have, there are 5 crests, and we currently have information on 2 of them. We were told that the Fire Monolith is where one of the crests is. And we are also told that the King of Osterfair has a crest. So that's 2, and we have 1 right now, so that would get us 3. Once we get 5, we can go to an island at sea to go get something. Okay, this is where I wanted to go first. Little pit stop. This is where we got our key. This is Zahan. So there's some stuff in the back of the shrine here. But we don't have the jail key. So... This dog taught us where the gold key was. Thanks, dog friend. Very helpful dog friend. Okay. So not a lot left for us in Zahan, but we do know that we want to come back here when we get the last key. Now. Okay. Oh, Kane, you're looking a little worse for wear. Let's fix that up. Okay. So, there's some islands to the west here we're gonna go check out, and we're gonna see if we can't find what more towns or villages. But here. Oh boy, Gargoyle and 2 Vampirus. We should be okay with this. Let's go ahead and sleep the Vampirus. Oh, alright, guess not. $20 damage on... Oh my goodness. Alright, Kane needs to be not dying. We definitely want Slyo 2 to be the one taking the hits here. Okay, so we have this little shrine here. This is our next place of, you know, interest. Oh! It's this. It's the warp shrine. Did it go anywhere? No. Oh, but... there's something here. Alright, time to... Okay. Can't go up that. Do you remember in 1 where you could go around the outside and just like... find things? Do you remember how to get the sunstone in 1 you had to go outside the castle to the right and down to find some stairs? This tree. So when they said the fire monolith or fire shrine contained the sun crest, that was a piece of information we had been given. This is the fire shrine. It is a shrine that has a bunch of fire. So that's your, like, you know, there's nobody here that tells you welcome to the fire shrine, but this is the fire shrine. So we have a crest. Good job. Thanks. Feeling good about a free crest. So, oh, also, this reveals the power of the flute, by the way. Oh, what does the flute do? It tells you the screens that crests are on. So, if you use it on a screen and it echoes, there's a crest on the screen. At least it wasn't a tiny metal. It's true. What? I don't want to battle for my... Oh my god. Okay, fine. I guess I'm gonna battle for my damn... world leaf. Oh. Whoop. If we travel enough, perhaps somebody will even tell us that fact. most facts in the game are learned by talking to NPCs, you know, so... But yeah, so, if you remember, up in Hamlet, there was the screen with the gremlins in jail. The flute. The flute went ahead and worked on that screen. So... we now know one more Crest location. We don't know how the heck to get in that room yet, but... is there a town on this? Ooh, I don't feel like I want to be here. How bad are evil trees? Anything we have like that isn't going to be as, like... the world tree was hidden on the overworld, certainly. Oh, there it is. Hey, we got another town. Let's go ahead and see what people say here. Because again, you learn and... oh, hey. Everyone left me behind and disappeared somewhere. I'm so lonely. Yep, yep. So... welcome to the town of Welgarth. We built the town underground to get away from Hargon. Alright, let's see what Welgarth has for us. My name is Luke. I don't remember anything of that. I collapsed on the beach. Also, might as well. Okay, there's not a crest on this screen. I hear that Hargon is skillful at illusions. Okay, so this is the final bit of, like, what the Crest quest is about. We get all 5 crests, and we can go to somewhere in the world to get protection from the spirit of the earth. And then once we have that, we can break through the illusion that is Hargon's castle. So that's our, like, goal right now. What do you got? Yeah, you got it, boss. So it was like $2,000? Anyway. That's right, we're going on Tour 2, sequel to Tour. Don Mahoney, who lives in Toon, is a master at making the water flying clothes. He can only make one. Okay, so we know where to make them. That's good. But we're missing the magic loom. Yeah, we're just getting... oh. Here it is. Huh. The mink coat. Much like the Shield of Strength, the biggest thing about the mink coat, as you can see, is that everyone can equip it. And it's also like plus 1,000,000 defense. The light sword is one of our upgrades that exists for Kane. The second biggest thing about it is that it costs 65535, right? Like, that might as well be, like, just max int, right? Like, so, yeah, the light sword is an upgrade for Kane. It's also an upgrade for you know, Slyo 2, but Slyo 2 finds upgrades a little more often. Upgrades for Kane are rarer in the world. So here in, Welgarth, we've got things to buy. We've got a lot to take care of here in Wellington. Do people come here to buy the jailer's key? I heard that it's sold in this town, but that rumor is preposterous. Again, people in the world will tell you things. Then just forget I didn't say anything. It's great. People in this game will actually just tell you things. It's cool. Alright. Hey, what's up? This is a hotel? What? The work of the devil! Please. I don't see any drop frames on my end. Please. Please. Door stuck. Door stuck. I beg of you. Okay. Door. We're dead. Okay, oh god. I threw the thief named Fastfinger into jail, but he disappeared. That's strange. Who threw this wizard in jail? Only the person in possession of the Eye of Malroth can open the path to Rhone. Interesting. Is that a different... That must be a different translation. I'm the infamous... Oh! We heard about Rouge Fastfinger. Okay. We now have the key to the Watergate Hotel. I suppose we can go mess with the Democratic National Convention? Probably shouldn't bring no records. Like, so many keys today. So we have jail key, water key, and gold key. Fastfinger working for Nixon. Alright, is this shop down here a storage facility? This is the vault, good. I want to withdraw like 5,000 gold. I'm sorry, Sword of Erdrick. This is where your time ends. Well, maybe. I could also give this to Slyo 2 for now. This will produce a special effect when used during battle. Could get rid of the Dragon Killer, could get rid of the Sword of Erdrick. If I get rid of the Sword of Erdrick, I'll have 2 people on the same combat ability. If I get rid of this, I'll have 1 person who hits really hard. That's hard to say. I'm gonna go this way because it lets me sell the Dragon Killer for money. They have $6,000. That's halfway to another lightsaber, so. Hey, excuse me, ma'am? Ma'am? Alright, are you ready for another world tour? That's right, it's time to go everywhere. If we go west, we end up by that mountain pass to Roan. We'll go there a little later. Right now, I don't feel like we're actually, like, on the level we should be for where we're at. Oh, very unhappy about Surround here. Release all the criminals everywhere. What could go wrong? I don't see any problems. Oh my god. These are status effect machines. Alright, let's heal up from that. Actually, I suppose... Wing of the Silver Wyvern? Alright, like, we wanna... Did this town have a jail? Yes, this town has a jail. This is a town we want to go to. So letting all the criminals out of jail, I think, is probably fine. Letting all the gremlins out of jail, I don't know about that one. I don't know why I adore the fact that the highest tier of key in Dragon Quest is the key that opens the jail. Agreed. I love that. Ooh, we actually have another level coming pretty quick for Slyo, too. Alright. So we've saved, and now... Gremlin. Oswarg! Alright. Do you take sleep? You do take sleep. That's bad damage, don't like that. I love the jail cell. We have a jail cell battle. Okay, and the question is, what are we in here for? It's the water crest. So here we are, we got sun, star, and water. Or slime? That looks like a slime. I think that's supposed to be a teardrop. I don't believe you. That's a slime. I know what a slime looks like. I'm playing a game that contains a lot of them. Okay, this only leaves us with one unknown crest. We know the Kingdom of Osterfair, which we still haven't gone to, but that's where one of the crests is. And then we have some unknown crest somewhere in the world. So, which one of these is the item shop? I want to buy another. Well, I have the spell return. I think I'm okay, actually. Okay, we want to go open up jails. Perhaps, though, we'll get cool information from jails being open. Okay. Slime? Drakey's good, but it's not slime. I miss slime. All right. You are all free now. Where was the town that had like the priest that was in like I think there was like a Hargon priest in a jail cell, something like that. Frame 1, huh? Yeah, sure, whatever. I know the Gold Key place has the temple, and Baron has some stuff as well, but there was one more that had like a basement. What the fuck? There was a basement jail. Maybe it was Tanta jail? I'm not sure. So many enemies. Oh, is that literally... Is that literally Middenhall? If that's just Middenhall, let's head back. I didn't check... You're right, I didn't check Middenhall. And then we can go south from Middenhall to get to, Actually, we can go, yeah, south from Middenhall. That'll get us to, back to the town we got the key in, and that had some jail, doors. And then we can also, go to Baron. Both of those had stuff, so... Yeah, whatever. Okay. Thank you. Boy, howdy, it is so nice to have people tell us the locations of the final item. So, Roan is where Hargon lives. And now knowing that on the way to Roan, that's where we're going to... How much damage is that? 1 million? Ugh! Okay, whatever, Mace Master. You son of a bitch. Who say you've died? Anyway. That rules. Love to walk into a fight and see exploded. Good XP and drop an expensive item. Makes sense. I wasn't kidding when I said Priest of Hargon, I guess. My, oh God. You absolute jackass. This lady? Are you the vault? Okay. Alright, give me $1,000 so I can hand it to the priest over here. Nice to just take a death though, that's fun. I'm gonna take a moment, I'll be back in just a minute here. Yeah, reviving in it's funny. So reviving in Final Fantasy games can be kind of variable. Phoenix Downs can be very cheap or very expensive depending on which Final Fantasy you're in. But reviving in Dragon Quest is always tough. Right now we have one item that can revive, and it's this Leaf of the World Tree that you can only ever have one of. I believe that sword's in this one, as at some point. I don't remember if it's like a monster drop or something, but like, I know we get there's cursed equipment across the games. In one, we had like the cursed belt. I don't think we did anything with the cursed belt. Okay. Let's think about where we want to go. Pull up the map while we're thinking. We're in a kind of an awkward spot. I want to head over to Baran. Put all the cursed equipment on Kane. I always thought that was a good idea. When I played this on Game Boy Color, I did the same thing. Kane got to hold all my cursed equipment, and you just went, because, like, you can't be more cursed than cursed, you know? If you're cursed, you're cursed. So, like, you can't be double cursed. I do think we're going to have to take some time at some point, probably at the beginning of next stream, to go ahead and just sort of do a little bit of level grinding. We did the same in Dragon Warrior 1. We had to do some level grinding from, I think it was from 17 to 20 I did off screen, 16 to 20 I did off screen. And we have a similar bit we're probably going to have to do here, because once we get all 5 crests, we're going to be wanting to go to Roan. But Roan kind of expects you to be like, I want to say like low 20s. Oh, we will advance a level beyond and find the Metalies. We're in a bit of a lengthy journey, so we'll go this way with this. You know, I really like the Dew Yarn little quest we did. I think that's really cute because it makes you go back to an area you already were at, and like if you already knew about it, like when you were you know, if you've played this game before, you can just get it when you're there the first time. And, like, that northern tower technically has no reason for you to climb it. Yeah, we want to be a little more powerful when we try to get into Rome. And get the... Because we want to dip in to get the life crest and then leave. That's going to be a big bit. Magidraki X5. Where am I right now? Hawkman! Hey, okay, 19. Strength 3, Speed 3, Vit 1, HP 4. Yeah, alright. Okay. Oh, this is probably supposed to be a level gate. This bit here. But I'm gonna choose to ignore the fact that it's a level gate. So every step is 7.5 damage. Every half step, every full step is 15. That's how these worked in the first game as well. However, once you have Erdrick's armor, you're immune. You'll also notice that it is specifically when the character steps on them, not you. This is gonna be a nothing, right? Oh, never mind. Found the magic loom. So, what does it do? The magic loom, when combined with the Dew's yarn by a master tailor in the town of Toon, will get us the water-flying clothes. There's only one copy of the water-flying clothes in the world. What does that do? It's a great question. I don't know. Okay, we have to go to the other side now, but before we do that, I probably need to get to the inn to heal my MP. Ow, 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 ow. You can get multiple on the NES. Interesting. In this game, they go out of multiple NPCs in this game have said there is only one copy. Okay. Excuse me, I need to go to the inn, please. Bluff, keep prices high? Probably. Okay. We now have 3 wizard's rings. That's a fine thing to have. This means that they're a lot more usable readily. Speaking of usable readily. Okay, now we need to go to Baron. And in Baron, we're going to go check out the jail stuff there as well. Okay, these 3 heal mores should be enough to get me through here. Crunch. But we don't know where the town of Toon is. That's not a place we've ever been. I'll check the map on where a possible town would be. World map. Oh, to the west of Rhone. So Rhone is that center mass that has the snow and the big mountain ring. If you look south from Elfgard, there's a bunch of rivers that kind of like wind up there with some mountains. We weren't able to get across the mountains earlier when we were walking up to Elfgard to get our boat through the desert, but we should be able to take the boat in there. I think that's the place where Toon would have to. I think that's the place where Toon would have to be. Let's go to Baron. Baron has some jail cells. Hopefully you can learn more info there, and then we can head up to maybe a town? Maybe it's just exploring a nothing. Maybe there's a cave up there or something, too. Who could say? I'm fine fighting these enemies while we're walking. Kane and Maria could absolutely use the experience. Terrific move. And I'm certainly not going to say no to, to some money as well. We know we have the shield that has 65,000, or the armor that's 65,000. We've not met a gold man yet. What island is this? Oh, whoop. Completely whiffed. Complete overshot. Go east, and we just completely whiff. That's fine. So many mana wars. Please. So once we get to Baron again, we'll want to check out all the jail cells, and there was something behind the temple that was like super danger floors. We'll have to see if that's passable or not. At some point, we'll get a tool that will help us with those, but we've not yet reached that point. Bop. You might wonder, will Maria ever get a better weapon? And the answer is basic. Oh. Huh. Smartest sea slug in the world. Maria's weapon right now is just the wizard's wand. There will be better equipment, but there won't be much of a stronger attacking weapon. That auto attack just never gets strong. But we will get upgrades in the weapon slot. Tree. Surrounded. Did we have a better weapon for her? I thought we had a better armor for her. Okay, right outside of... Oh, yes, that is the one I'm talking about that we can get. We cannot purchase, yet we can find if we, once we have a little bit more power behind us, perhaps. Okay. First things first. It's very dangerous to approach the prisoner. But how bad is this tile? Same as the others. You should make an effort to journey through the Traveler's Gate in this town. You'll find that gate is the only way you'll reach Rome. Alright, I need to get... Oh no. Alright, we have the leaf on us in case the prince decides to fall over dead again. Just in case. Alright, here we have the wizard sealed within the jail of the church behind the heating, like we literally went through the microwave hallway to get here. So on the other side of the microwave hallway, hidden, cast upon eons, away, is this wizard. What do you want? You know, I would think of this room as like, it's small enough and has the stuff that makes me think of like, because I've been playing it lately, Caius Custodius's house. Because Caius Custodius's house is like literally an 8x8 with a bed. Anyway, what? Okay, alright. Sure. Let's give Slyo 2 the seed here. Alright, 3? 3? Alright. Look, wizards have treasures. What do you want? Ooh! Okay, so through the wizard was thrown. You know, hundreds of miles out into the giant swamp. Oh, God. Well, if I die, I die. Spell, sleep, Pibabongo, please. I want you to note that that was Slyo taking that much damage. Like, Slyo has the most defense out of anybody by miles. Nice! So yeah, we've been wondering, and we've been asked, you know, how the hell do we get to Roan? And this is the way to Roan. Oh, sweet, a level for Kane. Speed 2, Vit 1. Okay, MP 8. Nice. You know, I said we were kind of level gated. Anyway, this swamp over here. Yeah, finally, float. This swamp over here, we were told, use the Eye of Malroth to open the cave to go to Roan, and also, and this is where we would be doing that. But we don't have the Eye of Malroth. That's another item we need. Where are we in the world? We're right south of Roan. Anyway, I don't want to die. So we're going to cast Return. Really? We're still here? Huh. That is not where my return, I thought, would be. But yeah, so we've learned some neat information. We learned where the water crest is. It's in this town. We knew that. We found it, but now that's where we would have found out about it. I always find it good to, like, be able to, like, find the lineage of where, like, information comes from in the game. Like, how the hell would you have known that? You know, La Milana sort of question. And the answer in these games is talk. We learned in Dragon Warrior 1 that Dragon Warrior 1 only has, like, 2 keys that you turn into another key, right? Like, you have the Sunstone and the Rain Staff that you turn into the Rainbow Bridge. But everything else, and finding those items, everything you get is knowledge. Other than, I guess, keys. Keys are like knowledge. Alright, where to next? Let's go ahead and see if we can't find that town that was being discussed. I've been putting off Osterfair for a long time. Not really sure why. I think it's because in my mind, Osterfair is on Crescent Island, and that's where you're, You also get numbers, true. Doing things in the game means that you're walking around, fighting battles, getting numbers. Which I suppose it probably shouldn't be hitting repel on everyone. The hell is this? Yeah, Dragon Warrior 1 has the Rain Staff and the Sunstone that turn into the Rainbow Drop, the token of Air Drink as well, which you need to get that. But, like, for the most part, like, opening Garen's Tomb is you gain the knowledge of Garen's Tomb. Finding keys is the knowledge of where keys are, and then buying them from there and getting them for other places. How do you beat the golem? Well, you're told where the pixie flute is in the world. All that sort of stuff. It's nifty that knowledge is more what you're looking for. Oh yeah, I want to go straight north from. Oh, Hawkman. How do I cure the prince? I talk to everyone in town as they give me instructions about the world tree. Very funny to me that the world tree in this game is a single tile. I love that. That's a game I absolutely still need to finish. I've played a good chunk of Outer Wilds, but still have not. That's not what I wanted. I'll still have yet to finish it. It's one of those things like I play it for like 3 or 4 hours and then forget about it for a month and then like forget what I have learned, and learning things is the main currency. So I have to relearn what I already learned, and then I don't know. I have to at some point just give it like a full day on a weekend. It's not a game I ever plan on streaming. It's just not that kind of game. Kind of like playing through like Obra Dinn, you know? Obra Dinn's a sweet game. I would never stream Obra Dinn. Try being a driver, someone doing the same maneuver is a good time. Maybe that's what I'm missing. That's actually, you bring up a good point. I think that's how I'll try to play through it. Thank you. Such an obvious thing that I already do with a number of games, but I hadn't done it with that one. Alright, so where are we? Where are we in regards to the rivers? The rivers are north. So we're looking for like a cave or a town or whatever the heck is up here, you know? What is up these rivers? Vampirus and Hunter. Yo, Hunter looks like they're having a hell of a good time. What a happy little fella. Hunter woke up. Okay, that fight's worth good. Alright. Is this a wet maze? Yes. $129 damage we're up to on our excellent moves. Crits are just defense piercing, like you just deal your full strength. Heck. Alright, hold on. The map might help us. Always sleep the big group and attack the small group. We should have what we need to do here, but I don't remember what. I think... No, not King. There's a river on the... let's try the West River first. Let's see if that works. Come on. Okay, we'll put the hunters to sleep. At least, worst case, we're getting some good fights in. Yeah, let's try the other river. This one looks like a dead end. But yeah, these fights are like doable. We can put things to sleep. We can control the flow of the fight pretty fine. Canoe wasn't invented until FF1. Oh, sweet. This is a Maria level? Sweet. Alright, Maria 14. Strength 1, Speed 6, Vit 3. Ooh, now you're talking. Yeah, absolutely lovely numbers. Alright, let's try West River. Perhaps this one loops up and around. That's what it looks like it might do on the map, so. Yep. 4 healers. Okay. Heal slimes are cool. I like the little jellyfish. Puppet Man. Can I walk this, maybe? Do I have to, like, go around the rivers this... Oh, no. Increase. Alright, so we'll try going around north and south around. Might have to be east as well. We'll have to see what the actual... Not this. Repellion. Okay. Enemies here are not hittable by... Okay, then maybe... Oh, that's terrifying. Tank my defense. Luckily the hunters are asleep, so this is okay. Okay. Now let's check the world map one more time. That's a pain. You're not helpful in any way. Alright, how about this walk? Like, if I go north and, like, around... Oh! It's time. Meta babble. Well, only one thing to do. We got a hit? No hit. Damn it. Oh. Tragedy. So, yeah, when I said we were looking for, we're looking for some stronger metalies. Metababble. Metable. Or Metal Babble. Is our foe we want. 3 hunters. Yeah, sure. Okay, this looks like it should work. It's a little odd of a direction, but it will get us to this dang town. Treasure chest. Yeah, no, that's nothing. Okay. I'm sorry, that was one step. You can't do that. That's illegal. That wasn't even one step. That was half a step. Early teens mean this is early game? Not in this game. In the early Dragon Warrior games, you maxed out at like 30. And that was like, you went too far. So, level 19 here, this is like 3/4 through the game. I think we're going to end at about 25, 24. We ended Dragon Warrior 1 at 22. The longer you go into the series, yeah, like these older games, yeah, these older games definitely follow much more of a D&D leveling numbers, because they have a lot of DNA shared with with those tabletop RPGs and like wizardry and such. But as you go later into the series, you do end up getting to like bigger. Okay, so there's the damn town, and I can go around this dang mountain. Gold Orc and 2 Hibango. Let's see if I can't get you to sleep. 16, 17, 18 is what the Feasel no manips ended on. That makes sense. Poof, these are kind of dangerous foes. Okay, we got the illusions up, that's good. Okay, Gold Orc is down. But yeah, it's nifty. We're playing through Dragon Warrior 2 on the Super Nintendo right now, which was a re-release 1 and 2 on the Super Nintendo with some extra changes and features. It was originally released on the NES. All right, where are we now? Welcome to the Village of Toon. Okay, this is where we wanted to be. Don Mahoney, who lives in this village, is a master at making the water-flying clothes. Well, we have the materials for the water-flying clothes. We were told about that. That's why we have the Dew's yarn and the magic loom. God Almighty. Only God Almighty can detoxicate you. A mysterious stone called the Moon Fragment is at the Tower of the Moon. Okay. Damn, that's nice money. Alright, what do we got here? Ooh, magic armor. And the Falcon Sword. Okay, Falcon Sword's a nifty sword. You'll notice, like, it completely tanks your attack stat, right? Like, what the hell? This is almost equivalent to being unequipped. That's true. That's what your attack is. But the Falcon Sword double hits. So you have a much lower attack, but you double hit. Now, in a lot of instances, this isn't great, because the way defense works, you're going to be dealing a lot less damage. But there is a spell that just tanks defense stat. And if you can tank the defense stat and then have a Falcon Sword going, that's the good stuff. Magic Armor in Dragon Warrior 1 healed you on the steps. I think it was every 4. Shield of Strength is something we want to get for Kane at some point. That's probably what we're actually saving for. But yeah, so the Falcon Sword is a neat oh, that's just exiting town, huh? If you dump all your strength seeds into the hero, it's probably pretty good. Yeah, the thing is, you need to have enough of a strength stat to start piercing defense, and then if you're doing that, like, you can, like, combo that with defense to make it really good. You got back the Watergate key. Thanks. Oh. The Tower of the Moon stands to the south of this village. Long ago, you could reach the tower by ship. There's a dog outside of town, everybody. Damn, that bastard Lagos. No, this reminds me we should flute. Okay. You don't seem to have any beds available. Alright. Oh! Suddenly remember that I need to talk to Dakota about setting up a spoiler talk stream next week. Open the water gate. Yeah. I've seen a couple of previews. I've been kind of. It's one of those things where like I know it's there and I'm excited for it, but I want to keep it as like a surprise for when we actually do the looking at the cards. But some of the stuff I have seen has been quite cool. But yeah, I'm gonna see if we can't do that on like next Tuesday. There'll probably be 2 streams, one for Corp, one for Runner, like last time, just from how much time things took. Alright, is the water gate in here? Oh, no, this is... the water flying... Oh. Okay. Come back when you're a little... richer. Okay, him and Bongos. We're doing just fine beating up. That's, again, I keep looking for, like, stuff on the edge of town, but there really isn't. You get booted if you're on the edge of town. Okay, so... we got the weapon shop. I need to figure out where to use this. Alright, well, we can go around here, we know, because of the dog, so maybe there's a... aha! Okay. They're very good about letting you know these sorts of things, but, like, you know, so we see this dog and we know that this is a walkable zone. So this is a double key gate. Look at this giant keyhole. Alright, where's the water gate key? And there we go. So now we have the water gate opened. Let's see if the clothes have been made yet. It's not... okay, fine. I guess we'll have to come back for it. Okay, so that's what this did, is it opened up this, so now we can take the boat to the moon tower. So that's gonna be our next spot we need to go for. Now let's cast return? Where do we want to go next? We've done Tune. Okay, this brings us back here. Brings us back here because this is where our save is at. Do I want to move that to a more useful location? I want to save here, that's for sure. 37, 39, and 62. Maria's levels are so slow. Okay. Okay, then from here, let me quick check the map and do a think if there's anywhere else we need to be going other than, like, to that moon tower we know about. Oh, I can put the key away now. I don't think that Watergate key does anything anymore. Okay, there's Auster Fair on the Crescent Island to the east. There's that shrine somewhere that out there that gets us Rubus's spirit. But we don't have the crest for that. We need the Eye of Malroth. We don't really have a lead on that. We've done Baron. Baron's all set. We've done Zuhan's all set. Elfgard's set. You know what? Okay, last thing we'll do today. Let's go ahead and set our... We're going to go back to Middenhall and see if we can't beat the Mace Master. We can reset our point at Middenhall, and I think that's a more useful save point. And we can see if we can avoid dying to the Mace Master on turn 1. Again, I probably shouldn't be using Repel as much here because we do need the experience. There's but we know where we can go find Metababbles. They're on the path to Tune. And being able to fight Metababbles, that's big experience, big prizes, so... Oh, this has been great. You know, like I've said, I've played this game back on the Game Boy Color, but it's still been, like, a fun surprise getting to do all this stuff. There's always more treasure and more keys and more for you to find around the corner. Okay. So we're here in town. Let's quickly use the inn because it's super cheap. We're gonna go save, and then we're gonna go get our ass exploded by the Master Exploder in the basement. Just got a Priest of Hargon that knows exploded in the basement. Find like a billion barriers. Alright. Alright. Place your bets, everybody. Can we beat the Mace Master? First things first, I can use Step Guard to not take damage on the way over there. So, what? Oh no! We can't beat the Mace Master. They escaped. Let's try loading the save, shall we? Here's all our translations. Again, this is a fan translation of 1 and 2. Unsure what I'm going to do for 3. I think I'm going to play the SNES translated version. I've been told, like, that it just has more stuff, like, than the Game Boy Color one. The Game Boy Color one being sort of a port of it with a few bells and whistles that weren't on it. Alright. Alright, Master Exploder, let's go. Give me the goods. Dragon Quest Destiny, this is the first time I really got why the early ones are so loved. They're gone forever. They kicked my ass and left. They escaped jail. Alright. I guess the answer is no, I cannot beat the Master Exploder because Mace Master has killed you. Rest in peace. Look, you died? He walked out the door. What do you want? You opened the jail cell. Like... Alright. Anyway, that's gonna be where we're gonna end it today then. Next time, we'll head over to the Tower of the Moon. When we go over to the Tower of the Moon, we'll be able to get the Moon Fragment. And I think we've been told that the Moon Fragment lets us get into a cave out at sea. I'll have to check if that was true. It was somebody in Zuhan that said that. But yeah, thank you all for joining. Hope you had a fun time today. Really happy to have you all here. Really happy to, again, thank you for the subs. Thanks for the images of cool friends. Thanks for just being here, having a good time. If you want to see more, you can always follow. See when I go live. Dragon Warrior Wednesdays take place on Wednesday, but we have all sorts of other streams that go on over the week. Tomorrow we'll be playing. Me and Luke will be playing more Live Alive. Friday should be some. It's gonna be some Brothers War or me doing some cube work. It's gonna be some magic. I might be doing some cube stuff on stream instead of Brothers War, but we'll see. And then Sunday we'll be finishing up network transmission. All sorts of stuff. But anyway, thank you all for joining. If you're just here having a great time, A+. Great to have you here. So, have a good night, everybody.